Welcome back to Frontline Influence. I'm your host, Nick. If you work on the front line, you know exactly what the heat feels like. It's the moment when a customer starts raising their voice because of a back order. It's when two of your best employees are squaring off in the break room over who didn't clean up the prep station. It's that shot of adrenaline you feel in your chest when someone challenges your authority in front of the whole team. In those moments, most people react in one of two ways. They either shut down and avoid the confrontation, or they fire back to prove who's in charge. But as a leader with over a decade in the trenches, I'm here to tell you that both of those reactions are failures. On the front line, you cannot be the thermometer, someone who just reflects the temperature of the room. You have to be the thermostat. You have to be the one who sets the temperature and brings the heat down. Today, we are giving a deep dive into the de-escalation and conflict management. We're going to talk about why your ego is your biggest enemy, the tactical tricks to lowering the tension, and we're going to walk through exactly what it looks like to handle a blow-up in the right way and the wrong way. So let's get into the line of fire. Welcome to Frontline Influence. I'm Nick. I've spent over a decade leading on the front line, and I know exactly what it takes to get results in the real world. No corporate fluff, just practical leadership, accountability, and communication skills for those of us on the ground. This is how we lead from the front. De-escalation is a survival skill. Let's get real for a moment. Why does this matter? Why can't we just tell people to shut up and do their jobs? Because conflict is expensive. It costs you time, it costs you talent, and on the front line, it can cost you safety. Retention. People don't leave high-pressure jobs, they leave high-drama environments. If your floor is a constant battlefield, your best people will find a quieter place to work. Safety and focus. When people are angry, they are distracted. A distracted worker on a forklift or near heavy machinery is a liability. De-escalation is, at its core, a safety protocol. Your reputation. Your team is watching you. If they see you lose control and lose your cool, they lose respect for you. If they see you handle a screaming customer with calm, surgical precision, they will follow you into the fire. Conflict management isn't about winning an argument. It's about preserving the mission. The mission isn't to be right. The mission is to get the job done safely and efficiently. Before we get into the techniques, we have to talk about the monkey brain. When someone attacks us verbally, our brains enter fight or flight mode. Your heart rate spikes, your vision narrows, and you want to defend yourself. This is your ego. Radical leadership requires you to check that ego at the door. When a frustrated person is yelling at you, they aren't usually yelling at Tom. They're yelling at the manager, the system, or their own personal stress. If you take it personally, you lose. The second you get defensive, you've joined them in the mud. To de-escalate, you must remain objective. You are a biological circuit breaker. Your job is to absorb energy and ground it so it doesn't blow the fuse of the entire department. All right, so let's get tactical. Here are the tools I've used for 10 years to keep the peace. First is the low and slow response. When someone goes high, you go low. Here's the technique. Lower your volume and slow down your speech. They are shouting, speak at a near whisper. Human beings have a natural tendency to mirror the person they are talking to. By staying quiet and slow, you force them to subconsciously lower their own volume just to hear you. The power of help me understand. Conflict often happens because someone feels invisible or misunderstood. The technique? Instead of telling them they are wrong, use the phrase, help me understand where you're coming from so I can fix this. This shifts the dynamic from an attack-defense posture to a problem-solving posture. You're now on the same side of the table, looking at the problem together. Strategic silence, the venting room. Sometimes, people just need to blow off steam. The technique? Let them talk until they run out of air. Don't interrupt. Don't correct facts while they're in mid-sentence. Just listen. Once they stop, wait 2 extra seconds. Often that silence is where they realize they've overstepped, and they'll actually start to de-escalate themselves. Finally, the safety exit. If conflict is happening in front of the team or customers, you must move it. The technique? You can say something like this. I can see this is important. Let's get to the office so we can give this the attention it deserves. Moving the physical location breaks the audience effect. People are much more likely to be reasonable when they don't feel like they have to perform for a crowd. Let's talk about the right way versus the wrong way with a couple of real-world scenarios. Let's take a look at a classic frontline conflict. Two employees, we'll call them Sarah and Mike, are arguing over a shared piece of equipment. Here's the wrong way approach, or what I like to call the enforcer approach. The manager comes in and says, "Hey, both of you, shut it. I don't care who started it, but get back to work or I'm writing you both up. Sarah, give Mike the jack. Mike, stop complaining. Let's go." The result, the immediate noise stops, but the resentment grows. Sarah feels targeted, Mike feels ignored, and both think the manager is a jerk. The conflict will resurface in 20 minutes and probably be more aggressive. Here's the right way, or the thermostat approach. Manager comes in, "Sarah, Mike, hold on. Stop." Again, using a low, calm voice. I can hear the frustration from across the floor. "Mike, step back for a second. Sarah, tell me what's happening with the equipment." Let Sarah vent for 30 seconds. Then you might say, "Okay, so you're behind on the pallet count and need the jack to catch up. Mike, why do you need it right now?" Give Mike the time to explain his deadline. Then you might say, "Okay, I think I've got it now. We have two people with the same goal, getting the same job done. Here's the deal. Sarah, you take it for 15 minutes to finish that row. Mike, use that time to prep your next 3 pallets so that when you get the jack back, you can fly through them. Does that work for both of you?" With this approach, the result is that you've acknowledged the emotions, gathered the facts through active listening, and provided a tactical solution. You didn't win, you solved the bottleneck. So how can you improve your de-escalation muscle? You aren't going to be perfect at this tomorrow. It takes practice. Here's how you get better. First, start to analyze your triggers. What makes your blood boil? Is it being interrupted? Is it attitude? Know your triggers so that when they happen, you can say to yourself, "Okay, my ego is being triggered right now, and I need to stay in control." Number 2, role play the bad conversations. In your head or with a mentor, practice how you would handle a worst-case scenario. If a customer throws a product at you, what is your first move? If you've visualized it, you won't freeze when it happens. And the after-action review. After a conflict, don't just walk away. Ask yourself, did I lower the temperature or did I raise it? Did I solve the problem or just stop the noise? We've covered a lot today. If you're driving to a shift or heading into a tough meeting, here are 3 things I want you to remember about de-escalation. First, you are the thermostat. The team takes its emotional cue from you. If you are calm, they will eventually become calm. If you are frantic or angry, the situation will explode. Second, it's not about you. 99% of frontline conflict is about the situation, not the person. Don't let your ego turn a small spark into a forest fire. Third, move the body, change the mind. Things are getting loud, change the scenery, move the conversation to a private space to break the tension. Leadership on the front line is about influence, and you have the most influence when you are the most composed person in the room. I'm Nick. This has been Frontline Influence. Keep your cool, lead with purpose, and let's get to work.